what a victory that was for India. Back on confidence. More than a victory, I thought it was a tremendous boost for India's confidence in the match last evening. And now that things are settling down, now that we have spent the night and we are a little bit more relaxed, time to think about the way ahead. So we're going to focus on the learnings from the match against Zimbabwe and on to Eden Gardens, which, as we know, is not paradise. It's going to be a test by fire for every team. Joining me on the show, Boria Majumdar from Kolkata and Shomik Chakraborty from
Is
Kandy.
is is this about India or is this about Manchester United? One Manchester United fan sitting in Colombo in a rocking chair, another wearing a Manchester United jacket. What is going on here? There is some conspiracy going on. There is
Well,
definitely some conspiracy.
well, Manchester United just won a match, and those occasions are rare these days. So well,
Before I go to India, Shomik, are we seeing Pakistan's formal exit today? If New Zealand wins, Pakistan formally exits the tournament with glory.
If that is the case, if New Zealand can jolly well win, and New Zealand are a fantastic team, England are also a fantastic team, and as far as I'm concerned, England along with South Africa are the title favorites. But you never know as in T20 cricket. But if they win, then it would be a culmination of something. They started with political grandstanding, and the lead up was all about political soap opera, and now they will go down with a whimper. That is the thing. And you have to keep in mind, so far Pakistan in this tournament haven't yet won a single game against a full member nation. All their victories and everything have come against the associates, and they have a tendency to get ahead of himself. Just one victory against Namibia, they thought they will beat New Zealand. And then when England came, they thought that we have Usman Tariq, we have that spin punch, and we'll easily beat England, forgetting the fact that at T20 World Cup, Pakistan have never beaten England, number one. And number two, at Pallekele, over the last 1.5 months, England have been touring Sri Lanka. They are unbeaten. And they are a far better side all round. They are a far better side than Pakistan. And now there is a complete sense of despondency even among the seasoned cricket journalists here who are covering Pakistan cricket for close to 3 decades now, a sense of despondency. And the team, especially Mike Hazen, is not helping matters either with just 3 practice sessions in the last 9 days.
Ashok, if that is the case, one more question on Pakistan. I mean, while we absolutely condemn any kind of rubbish that was said about Salman Aga's family, is the worst kind of thing that is happening, and we must put this on record. It is not about Pakistan, it is about anyone, any cricketer. His or her family cannot be targeted under any circumstance. Let it be very clear. Whoever is doing that is not a sports fan. But on a serious note, when we condemn such behavior, from a cricketing standpoint, I think Salman Aga was a wrong call. Looks completely at sea. Babar Azam is the worst possible choice at number four. Looks absolutely not the part, because even in the last game, if you see, he hit two boundaries to start with and eventually ended up with run a ball, 23 ball 25 or something like that. So Pakistan, the current setup, will Mr. Naqvi take responsibility of this? Will selectors take responsibility? Will someone take responsibility? Because Pakistan, look at the Champions Trophy, nowhere. Look at the Asia Cup, nowhere. Look at the World Cup, nowhere. Clearly, Pakistan cricket is staring down the barrel, Ashok.
absolutely. I think it's a classic situation where I think Pakistan is standing on the edge of the sea and watching the ship sail by. The game has evolved. The T20 format has evolved to an extent where, the old world thumb rules don't apply anymore. And to come into a tournament like this, using the same kind of thumb rules, the same kind of best practices, employing Babar Azam, it indicates a couple of things. One, Pakistan as a nation is bereft of talent. I think gone are the heydays of the 80s and the 90s when they used to boast, a bowling lineup which was world class, that's clearly gone. In terms of batting, to come to the T20 format without a well thought out, articulated strategy and then followed by execution doesn't work. Leadership, I think, is the other big issue which Pakistan is facing. I completely agree with you. I think serious questions to be asked. I think Mohsin Naqvi needs to now really look at the status of things, in the sorry state of affairs, and figure out the way ahead.
Yeah, and in India, Shomik, had this happened, not one tournament, had this continuously happened that Asia Cup you are gone, Champions Trophy you are gone, World Cup you are gone, people would have questioned Devajit Saikia and Mithun Manhas, or for that matter, whoever the BCCI president, or there would be accountability. But in Pakistan's case, Naqvi is the Interior Affairs Minister. Shoaib Akhtar has to take a 180-degree turn after he says something about Mohsin Naqvi. He says, Naqvi, why can you nahi bola? So Pakistan will everybody will be, kind of pushed in front of the lorry and rolled over. But Mohsin Naqvi will continue to kind of, peddle his false bravado.
Absolutely. And the thing is that I think, as far as Pakistan is concerned, they have made peace with the fact that they are married to failures. Be it cricket, be it hockey. You saw what the hockey players had gone through on tour. They had to. I mean, they had to work at kitchen. Be it their economy, everything. They have accepted the fact that they are married to failure. That is the thing, and there would be shakeups in the Pakistan cricket team. Like we have already reported, Shadab Khan is next in line to take over as T20I captain. Mike Hasen's job is also, I mean, his future is also uncertain. Pakistan will go to Bangladesh for a three-match ODI series after this, and after that, nobody knows what would happen. Mike Hasen. So, but then again, if you look at, it has always been a game of musical chairs. As far as Pakistan cricket team is concerned, be it their captain, sometimes it is Shaheen Shah Afridi, sometimes it is Babar Azam reinstated, sometimes it is Salman Ali Agha. As for the coaches also, since 2023, after Saqlain Mustaq stepped down, Pakistan now have seven head coaches for their cricket team. It has always been a game of musical chairs, but the political hierarchy, the powers that be that runs cricket, they just wash their hands off. Simple it is, and they suffer fools gladly. It is easy to suffer in a country like Pakistan. It is easy to suffer fools gladly, and Mohsen Naqvi and the men of his ilk just do that.
So that's there for Pakistan. Moving on to the India versus West Indies clash, a knockout game now. So basically, India is playing the quarterfinal, semi-final, and final if they survive. That's the thing. Quarterfinal West Indies, semi-final possibly New Zealand or England, and then final if India makes it. Ashok, West Indies versus India, quality-wise, for me, India are significantly ahead, and I'm very conscious using the word significantly. When I take a look at this West Indies bowling, and again, I'm very consciously saying West Indies bowling. For me, it is pedestrian. Uh, Eden Gardens, look at West Indies' strength. When we say spin, and India are unable to play spin, etc., etc. When I see West Indies' strength, Gudakesh Moti, Akil Hussain, two left-arm spinners, Ishan, Abhishek Sharma, Tilak Verma. They'll smash them to the gallery. So West Indies' strength of left arm spin is neutralized. Roston Chase, very ordinary. Ford, Jason Holder, Romario Shepard, pretty ordinary. Shamar doesn't know where to pitch the ball. So when I see that bowling attack pitted against an Indian bowling attack, I think it's an 80-20 game. That high chance for India to win when West Indies is coming after a mauling. Your thoughts?
For sure. I mean, before I jump into the India West Indies, my takeout from the India Zimbabwe game is clearly India is the most dominant team in this particular tournament. But my big takeaway from this particular match, the Zimbabwe match, was that on the bowling side, Jasprit Bumrah and Varun Chakravarti are your top-notch bowlers. Ishan Kishan is the man in form. All three of them didn't deliver in the match versus Zimbabwe last evening. Instead, we saw Hardik Pandya, we saw Tilak Verma, and we saw Arshdeep Singh deliver. And I think, to your point, the India team it was a team performance. It was basically the team coming in and saying that we will be able to rally around even if one or two of our players have an off day. I think that quality is completely missing on the West Indies side. On the bowling, I completely agree with you. It's going to be a different kettle of fish when it comes to the Eden Gardens. And I think they are in for a mauling given the way the batting strength has evolved. I think what India needed was a shot of confidence in the arm, and they got that last evening. So I'm very confident that, it's going to be, they are definitely going to play somebody like an Akil Hussain, but I don't think it's a matchup against the Indian batsman in current form.
Shomik, two parts. I'll answer one and give you one. Abhay, India and West Indies made change, bringing off spin in place of left arm spin against South Africa. They lost. Uh, you know, I don't think West Indies brought in off spin against South Africa. They played their Gudakesh Motis of the world. They played their full strength. South Africa was just too good. Let's face it. India made a tactical blunder. So far, South Africa has been the best team in the competition and by a country mile. They are that good. Except that partnership between Shepard and Jason Holder, in every second of the game, South Africa was in control after the first 2 overs of that innings. So that's how good they have been. So that's a wrong statement. The question by I think who is this? Multiple times he has asked this question, and it shows the naivety of our cricket public. Shobit Praveen Adar. Sky is West Indies' trump card. He will give Dubey, who will leak 50 runs against the West Indies. He's Dhurandhar of West Indies. Look how stupid people are. This is a classic example of the foolish cricket fan who peddles himself as witty, who is actually dumb. People will not even understand. And if you can ask a question, do that. But you will want to kind of say negative things about Surya, try to be smart, which you are not, you are foolish. It is essential to understand that Surya's job was to try and give Shivam at least one more over to see if he can be used against the West Indies. The match was done. The match is over. You needed a one-run victory to ensure that you get to Calcutta. Simple as that. Shomik, answer this. This whole Surya Kumar Yadav bashing that is going on because of Shivam Dubey.
But that's happening on social media, which gives pause on a platform. I mean, I don't even read anything into what has the discourse on social media. You will have to. Surya Kumar Yadav yesterday was not thinking about the Zimbabwe game. He was thinking about the West Indies game, followed by the semi-final and the final. And he will have to see if by any chance Hardik Pandya has an off day, then what will do? He will have to turn to Shivam Dubey. So, from that point of view, Surya Kumar Yadav understands cricket, knows cricket better than the trolls on social media. So and I totally agree with you as far as Eden Gardens is concerned. It is 80-20 in favor of India. And that 20%, given the dimension of Eden Gardens, and West Indies have some serious hitters in their ranks, big hitters in their ranks. So, given the smaller size of the boundaries, if West Indies bat first, there is an outside chance they might bat India out of the contest.
That's an interesting take, Ashok. The interesting take. I watched the Scotland versus West Indies game at the Eden Gardens, and in the first 10 overs, West Indies scored 60 runs. Then in the next 10, they got 120. Even in the last game against Italy, I think they got only 165. So twice at the Eden Gardens, West Indies has not been able to touch even close to 200. So 180, 165. Against a Varun Chakravarti, I don't see them doing that. Yes, I understand what Shomik is saying. Romario Shepherd goes tall, hits some big sixes, miss hits can go for six. But qualitatively, when I look at that Indian bowling attack, Bumrah, Varun, etc., Ashok, do you reckon that the West Indies big hitters can really push India? I have real doubts that West Indies can.
So when I look at the match against South Africa, I thought what South Africa did very intelligently was to get their bowling lengths accurate right from the word go. West Indies as a team, from the batting is strong, but they kind of bloom a bit late. They take some time and then they start flourishing. And I thought that they went into that particular match trying to be aggressive from ball one, and that led to their downfall. And so the learning for India is going to be that if Jasprit Bumrah, Arshdeep Singh, Varun Chakrabarti are able to get their accuracy right at Eden Gardens right from the word go, they can then hold the West Indies with a pincer-like grip, which will be very difficult for them to get out of.
Shumik, one more point. I mean, let's address this. I'm in Calcutta. I'll give you another question. I'm in Calcutta, been in Calcutta for a while. Why there is no chance of rain? If you see social media again, people are saying, why did India not win by 120 runs? Suppose it starts raining. Folks, there are weather radars. There are sophisticated weather maps. Rain is not like a Trump tariff that it will come from nowhere. Overnight, it will get imposed. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen. Rain is not going to happen. It is every weather site, including Alipur, though you don't take Alipur seriously at times, have predicted a dry day. Shomik is laughing. The truth is, there is no chance of rain. Weather is not like Trump's tariffs. It will not happen. No rain. No chance of rain on Sunday in Calcutta. Shomik, are you seeing any change? Are you now happy with Tilak's position at 5 or 6, trying to come in late? Exactly what happened in the Asia Cup. Is that the correct position? Has India finally got it right?
See, on the face of it, the way India, first of all, winning by 120 runs against Zimbabwe, India were not having a net session. There were an opponents on the field. It was not that easy. I mean, it is not like going into a net session and start hitting sixes or stuff like that. But I think this is the combination, at least for the West Indies game. This is the combination. And going ahead, we don't know against England or South Africa, because England, if India face England in the semi-finals, then Kuldeep might come into play, given his record against England and England batsmen vulnerable, vulnerabilities against a wrist spin. But against West Indies, I think this is the lineup. They will not change the winning combination. And Tilak, now you have settled Sanju Samson, and he did his job. He did his job, not only about giving that electric start. He took the bull by its horns, number one, and that allowed Abhishek Sharma the required space to get into the group, because Abhishek Sharma knew he could take his time, and he brilliantly complemented Abhishek Sharma. So Sanju Samson, despite scoring 20 odd, he played a key role in giving India a very good start. And
This
then
is
Ishan
why people
Kishan.
understand cricket, Ashok. Look at the point he made. This is exactly what someone who knows the game will say. Sanju Samson at the top of the order. And what happened? The moment you had a Sanju Samson take strike, Sikandar Raza did not come into bowl. He had to go to Richard Nargava. He had to go to Blessing Muzarabani. And that off spin ploy, Salman Aga, Aryan Dup, Aiden Makram was thrown out of the window. That's where you won the mental battle. And like Shumik said, that 6 and 4 by Sanju Samson allowed Abhishek Sharma the necessary time. I thought Sanju Samson was very important. Ashok, a word on Sanju Samson.
I agree completely. I think he was that much required catalyst, and his role, if you really look at it, his role is going to be that if he makes that 25 runs or 30 runs in 14 balls, 15 balls, whatever it is, it allows stability for the other batsmen to come in and play the way they do. Mohammad Amir has been, I think, on social media talking about Abhishek Sharma being a slogger. The man is the world's number one T20 batter. And if you saw the match, in fact, if you saw the way he opened his innings yesterday, against Blessing Muzarabani, that shot that he played was not jumping out of the crease and trying to tonk it over the boundary. Instead, it was a square of the wicket drive that he did. I think he got only a single for that. But it was perfect sweet timing. And I think the pivot that he needed to come good, and that's what's happened. And I think the role that Sanju played helped all the batsmen after that to kind of score the way they did, and I think that's the way to go. As far as he goes personally, I think it will only go from strength to strength here, and I'm sure that the day is not far where he'll score a 50 or.
There's a super chat. Siddharth, I will give you a piece of advice. We are not one of those platforms who want super chats. Don't waste your money by asking a question where you will be told off. I'll allow Shomik to take that. Siddharth Kamath, white ball specialist Dubey will be game changer if he gets to bowl against the West Indies. You are spending money to show yourself as somebody who understands nothing. It's a two-edged sword. Don't do it. My advice is don't give such super chats and waste your money. But Shomik, I'll let you answer.
Once again, I mean, you said it all. You said it all. Shivam Dube going ahead will also bowl. He is there as an all-rounder. He will bowl. And just do understand that Surya Kumar Yadav, beat Surya Kumar Yadav, beat Gautam Gambhir, beat Sitangshu Katak, and whoever, every member of this team and the support staff, they understand the game a little bit more than you. I mean, little bit more than people who are coming up with such questions. Simple as that. I don't want to drag it on as because I think this question borders on stupidity.
That's exactly the point. Varun Chakravarti, are you worried? A lot of people have asked. Ashok, word on Varun Chakravarti. Are you a tad worried about his form, bowling a little short, bowling a little quick? Or no, Varun Chakravarti will come good where it matters. India will peak. Thoughts?
I think just stepping back from that question, I think in terms of timing, India couldn't have got it better in terms of coming good. And I think this, like I said in the beginning of this show, this was that much needed shot of confidence in the arm that India needed. And I think the rub off will work on all the departments, whether it's fielding, whether it's bowling and batting. Varun Chakrabarti, I have no issues actually with the way he's playing. There are going to be off days. Obviously, it's not been the best performance in the last match, but I think it's only a matter of time. And given West Indies batting strength, especially the point that I talked about, which is that they are late bloomers, I think this is going to be the perfect situation for him to come good in this tournament.
Shomik, two questions from the Indian standpoint before I kind of take the last few. One, yesterday every batter scored at over 150 strike rate. Every batter. Surya from ball one was aggressive. Do you reckon that they've gone back, like Tilak said, they've gone back to the drawing board, shed their apprehensions and asked themselves what worked and have come back with a renewed formula, have really recalibrated and that worked, and the role of the management is question number two. Clearly, the management must have done its job for India to have recalibrated in this manner. Shobik.
This recalibrated manner has shades of 2003. You remember that World Cup, 50 over World Cup in South Africa. India lost badly in the first game against Australia, and then Sandy Gordon came up with that message: now or never. And India went into that World Cup the next game until up to final, completely mentally unfettered. See, I mean, sometimes you need a wake up call. Sometimes failures are also important in the sense that game against South Africa was India's wake up call. And they, once again, yes, we will not be mentally fated while going to the crease. We have been winning matches, playing an aggressive brand of cricket, a certain brand of cricket over the last 2 years. Why shall we shed that? So that belief needed to come to them, and now I think this is the trigger. Zimbabwe, it's on the face of it, it's not. I mean, you will not read much into a defeat, a huge victory against Zimbabwe because you are supposed to win big against Zimbabwe. But it is about confidence. When you are not doing well, when you have lost badly in the previous game, then whoever you are, which team you are, your confidence would be a tad low. And that victory is in terms of regaining the confidence. It was very significant yesterday's victory in terms of regaining confidence. And now I think going ahead, we'll see India of yore.
That's the point, Ashok. If I see India's cup triumphs, all the major ones, 2011, you had a stumble against England in Bengaluru, 338. Zahir Khan made a comeback, Andrew Strauss 100. Match tied. India lost to South Africa, Nagpur. India came back, won the World Cup. 2013 Champions Trophy. If you see, even the final was close. Mahendra Singh Dhoni ace, Sharma, brilliant comeback. Everybody said this is a horrible move. India goes on to win. 2020, any other tournament that India has done well. Recently, Asia Cup, again, there was a bit of a stumble in the final. Here in this one, again, we have not peaked yet. Take the 2024 Rohit Sharma tournament. Against Pakistan, you were in a spot. Then that Jasprit Bumrah over. So multiple times India has started slow, then capacity built has peaked at the very end rather than peaking at the start, which happened in a couple of tournaments like 23, eventually that final in Ahmedabad. So I think it's not a bad sign for India that questions have been asked. Now they know what to do, Ashok.
For sure, I think like I said, this is the perfect time for India to peak. And if you look at it, let's take it by function. Let's take it by department. If you look at the batting department, yesterday was a clear-cut case where everyone came good. Everyone played a quality of cricket which is in line with their strategy. It would have been very unfortunate if you were to do something rash and change it completely, because now that you've gone into the tournament, you must then back it up by execution and back yourself up in terms of confidence, which is what they have done. The what they've done is basically minor tweaks. If you ask me, for example, just to break that monotony of the first three left-handers, bring in Sanju Samson. Look what it has done. 250 plus score. It just shows the kind of dominance that the team has, and therefore I completely agree that in terms of gross negatives, there aren't anything which is going to impact. It's only going to peak better from here, and then there's no looking back for the team.
Shomik, final question. Yesterday I could see there was a time when they showed on air and Gautam Gambhir was actually laughing, not smiling, laughing. So is the pressure off? Sitanshu, Gautam, they were obviously all of them feeling the heat. Each one of them know how important this is. Imagine if we were having to do a show today and West Indies would have won against South Africa. What would have happened? I think national catastrophe, country in mourning, anything could have happened. But with the pressure off the management as well, they can breathe easy, plan in a sane mind for the West Indies game, and calibrate forward. Show me.
Of course, in this part of the world, the problem is that we go from one extreme to the other. Look, in England, were hammered at the Ashes 4-1. But did England cricket fans desert them? Did you? How many times did you see abuse from the Barmy Army? The doyen of England cricket fandom. Australia were knocked out of this tournament, and Australia, we are talking about Australia here. So Australia didn't even qualify for the Super 8. Did Travis said? Did he face deplorable online trolls? No, it doesn't happen. And you have to keep in mind, even if India going ahead, even if there is another slip up and India don't win the World Cup, hypothetically, I'm saying, it is not the end of the world. You will not win every World Cup. You don't have a divine right to win every World Cup or every tournament you play, because there could be other teams on that night. They are playing better than you. So it is sport, simple. So you are not going to, even the best of teams don't win everything that they play. So, yeah, but once again, in our part of the world, this is just this is just waste of time. I mean, trying to give this narrative is just waste of time. It will not cut ice with those keyboard warriors.
Shomik, follow up before I close with Ashok. So is it New Zealand, England, India, and South Africa? And what are the kind of matchups are you seeing? Is it England versus India, New Zealand versus India? How are you kind of sensing the final four?
I think. See, I believe England. I back England to win against New Zealand. Although New Zealand's are masters of pulling off upsets. In that case, I see this matchup. Pakistan, whatever they do, unless there is Kudrat ka Nizam, they are not qualifying for the semi-final. So my semi-final lineup is England versus India and New Zealand versus South Africa. This is my semi-final lineup.
Ashok, your four semi-finalists, same. What's happening? And well, we've talked about Pakistan. A word also on Sri Lanka, host country getting eliminated, two defeats. Your favorite player, Pathum Nisanka, is their main guy, losing to Matt Henry. Sri Lankan cricket also, Ashok, is going nowhere. Stark decline compared to where they were a decade earlier.
A lot of questions there. On the first part, it's the same combination that is going to make it to the semi-finals. I'm looking at an India-New Zealand thing, unlike Shomik, but let's see how it goes. As far as Sri Lanka goes, that's a country, that's a nation that I've been following quite actively. And you're right, Pathum Nisanka, what a 100 that was against Australia. I think the issue with some of these nations is basically consistency. It's not about talent in this case. Pakistan is an issue of bereft of talent, poor administration, completely wrong priorities. Sri Lanka is not that. Sri Lanka is not about talent not coming up the ranks. I think it could be one. It could be exposure. In terms of being able to play more actively, they are getting to play in the IPL, but I think there has to be consistency in terms of how they go about building their innings, how they go about harnessing their bowlers. If you see, Patirana, if you see Tikshana, what's happened is that batsmen have started reading them so well that they are able to get ahead of them. Now, how does Sri Lanka then tackle some of these cricketing core questions is what really needs to be addressed. It's a matter, it's going to be a difficult journey, but I think they have the gumption to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you see Sanath, you see Lasit, and you tend to think, come on, these were the best guys in their time. I mean, what a Sri Lanka team. Murli, Lasit, Sanath, Mahela, Kumar, all of them coming together. That was some Sri Lanka. West Indies versus India, all of us maintain India overwhelming favorites. Saurav Kumar, I'll take your question to end. 83 for 7 to 176 for 8. Of course, no joke. It was a tremendous partnership between Holder and Romario Shepherd. Remember, 3 catches dropped. Remember, India will not give them that opportunity. Yesterday, if you see the kind of opportunities Romario Shepherd was getting, Varun Chakravarti will not give him those opportunities, and you have a freak called Jasprit Bumrah. Whenever he will come into bowl, at any point in time, he will nail you. That's how good Jasprit Bumrah is. I think it's 80-20. We'll end the show here. Lot of build up to continue. India lands at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. in Calcutta, we will have people at the airport, give you arrival visuals. We'll have people at the ITC hotel arrival visuals. We are told Gautam Gambhir will visit Kali Ghat temple. We'll get you visuals. Teams will train tomorrow. Maximum coverage on Rev Sports as we build on to this quarterfinal between India and the West Indies. And Shomit Chakraborty from his rocking chair will get to the ground and report on his favorite side, his adopted country, England, and the side that he loves, Pakistan, who play their last game in this World Cup against Sri Lanka. Then Shomit's special copy on Mohsin Naqvi will also land on Red Sports. Thank you very much. Over.